The ICJ will now notify South Africa and Israel of Turkey's intervention and request their written observations. And within an estimated period of 2 months, South Africa and Israel will submit these written observations to the court. Turkey's intervention in the case at the ICJ is a requirement of its legal, moral, and historical responsibilities on the global stage. As a signatory to the 1948 Genocide Convention, Turkey is bound by international law to prevent and punish acts of genocide. Turkey's intervention emphasizes its commitment to these obligations and sets a precedent for other nations to follow a similar way when addressing serious humanitarian crises.
Well, let's get some analysis now with Omer Erkut Bulut, who's an associate professor at Bogazici University's Faculty of Law in Istanbul. He specializes in international economic law, international arbitration, business and human rights, as well as the conflict of laws. He joins us now from Istanbul. Really good to have you with us, Professor. This really is a significant moment, not only for this South African case against Israel at the International Court of Justice, but also for Turkey's efforts in really supporting Palestinians under siege in Gaza. Describe to us how important this move is for Ankara.
Thank you very much for having me. So yes, the South Africa-Israel case before the International Court of Justice, before the ICJ, is very important. And as there is first the legal side of the debate, but there are also the practical side of the debate. When we evaluate the legal side of the debate, there are two elements of genocide. First, the acts, the execution of the genocidal acts, like the systematic killings or the inflicting conditions which are designed to bring the physical destruction of the group or preventing the births. And when we look at Israel's practice of conducting military operations in the Gaza Strip, we see a widespread destruction, which is unprecedented. Gaza Strip is destroyed. Gaza City is totally destroyed. Gaza, even before October 7th, was declared as an inhabitable place. But now the whole Gazan population is entrapped in a much, much smaller area, which is the Rafah border gate with Egypt, and more than 40,000 Gazans, including women and children, are killed. And the hospitals are bombed, and the humanitarian aid is forfeited, there is starvation. So the act is there. But then also the second element is the intention to destroy a group in whole or in part. And as your correspondent said, the Israeli officials made this intention of Israeli government clear. The biblical references to the Amalek story by Benjamin Netanyahu, or Israeli Defense Minister Yoav Gallant saying that they are fighting human animals, so dehumanizing Palestinians as a whole, or soldiers chanting that they are going to Gaza to wipe off the seeds of Amalek. There are very important and very clear evidence for a plausible case of genocide. So the legal implications are important, and in that sense, I believe that Turkey's participation will be a contribution to increase the legal argument in terms of further evidence, further distraction, the geolocations of the distraction and the mass killings, which had nothing to do with the military objectives, as we have been seeing in Gaza since October 7th. The widespread distraction has nothing to do with broader military objectives. And first of all, Turkey's participation, I believe, would be very important for the legal implications. But then there are also the practical and the political implications for Turkey's participation. First, as you know, there is also another genocide case between Russia and Ukraine since 2022, and more than 30 states, most of the European Union countries, participated in that case as part of Article 63 of the Statute of the International Court of Justice. But those countries, they did not show the same level of emphasis and respect to the universal human rights, and in such a case, which show a very plausible case of genocide and widespread destruction and massacres. So in that sense, Turkey's contribution is very valuable, I believe. So there are other countries, as you mentioned, Spain, Belgium, Ireland, Nicaragua, Colombia. So Turkey's participation would add an additional weight to basically send the right signals to the International Court of Justice and international community in the age of pressures inflicting upon the international courts and tribunals to turn a blind eye to Israel's ongoing massacres.
Okay, Omer Erkut Bulut, we will have to leave it there, but thank you so much for sharing your thoughts with us here on TRT World.
Thank you.